Pero yung, ano talaga, I think that is something that the administration has to, to, uh, to take into consideration. Hindi nakakarating yung mensahe sa normal na tao, 'di ba? Hindi siya naiintindihan. Well, bakit gano'n? Oo.
Well, kasi alam mo sa kanila si Amy lang ang masa. Alam mo naman yan, Joey. Yan talaga masa.
Kasi geolog si Senator Amy, aminadong geolog siya.
Talaga. Yung dalawa niyang kapatid, ano yun yung isa, opera singer, o di alta-alta din. PPM naman, di ba? Talagang, talagang mataas yung pamilya nila. Pero si Senator Amy talaga ang mana sa tatay na makamasa. So,
actually, labas na labas yung pagkamasa ni Senator Amy nung sumagot siya dun sa barda ni Martin Romualdez.
Yung ugali, inugali. Yung
inugali ko, yung inagali mo, umiiyak ka.
Isa rin no?
Bardagolera. Nakakaloka. Ayun lang. Hello, Alexei.
Hi, Joey.
Hello. Ayan, maraming salamat sa pagkapit. Ayan,
hi.
Ayan, meron ka pong gustong i-share?
Well, actually, I want to discuss yung Independent Mindanao. Are you okay with this? Or wala tayong time ngayon for that?
Okay naman po. Wala naman pong problema, pero so what would you like to say about it? You can share your sentiments naman po about Independent Mindanao.
Personally, I am all for it. I think it's about time. And it's so surprising that si PRRD pa yung nag-umpisa, that he was the one that brought it up. I did not expect that. And alam mo, let's say...
Really? Ako naman parang I was not surprised at all, actually.
Yeah, kasi the only reason why hindi ko na-expect yun is because he always insists on magkaisa tayong bansa. We gotta keep that together as much as possible. And he's always been fighting for that. So, maybe it's just an idle threat as a bargaining chip on the national politics table. Pero, let's say it isn't. Kasi nakikita ko everywhere, parang nagising yung mga tao na gusto talaga itong mangyari. And the sentiment is growing, and I think with that sentiment growing, the possibility of that is growing every day. And it might actually happen. Ultimately, what I want to ask you is, yung tanong mo rin, do you think they would accept us dito sa Luzon who share their sentiments, yung sokang-soka na tayo dito sa corruption na nanggagaling dito sa atin?
Alam mo, Alexei, ang ko doon, ang feelings ko talaga dyan sa One Mindanao is this. At the back of my head and at yung pinaka bottom ng heart ko, I want one Philippines. Gusto ko isa lang tayo. Gusto ko magkaroon tayo ng consciousness at pagmamahal dun sa isang bansa. In whatever shape or form. Pero isa tayo. Yun yung nandun sa pinakababa ng puso ko. Pero, yung One Mindanao sentiment na yan, na sinasabi nila ngayon, I cannot oppose it ng bonggang-bongga. Why? Because their call for One Mindanao is being rooted on very practical reasons. We have neglected Mindanao for a very, very long time.
I agree.
Now they are attacking the Dutertes by what? By saying that 51 billion went to the south nung 2019, 2020, 2022. Galit na galit sila na ba? Saan yan? Ganyan. And for me, that is just an ultimate insult sa Mindanao. Why?
Absolutely.
Because prior to that, hindi nyo pinupondohan ng Mindanao. And now that they got 51 million, you're going to turn it into circus at sasabihin nyo na ninakaw yung pondo doon? Hindi nyo nga pinupondohan yan for the longest time Pagkatapos
gagamitin nyo,
this time around, just to put a politician down in Mindanao, gagamitin nyo na panira dun sa congressman nila doon. And then, Direct Daryl, nag-live kasi kami ni Sas tiningnan namin yung mga DPWH projects.
Okay.
Sa Mindanao, sa Bicol. You know, we look at, because Saldico is ako Bicol. Tiningnan namin yung DPWH project sa Mindanao at saka sa Bicol. And always, the money that was allocated sa Bicol region is always greater than that of Mindanao. So I do not understand.
As in Bicol Region 5 kontra
yes, Bicol region.
All the regions in Mindanao?
Yes, kung kung saan representative rin ako Bicol is representing the region 'di ba? So parang ang sa akin doon, parang saan nanggagaling yung audacity ng itong mga to? You know, to turn these issues into a political circus when in fact yung very 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 short time that Mindanao is prioritized pagdating sa mga projects, gagawin yung katarantaduhan. When in fact it is something that is verifiable. I mean, nasan ba yung 51 billion? Kinurap ba? Because this is 2019, 2020, 2022, 2020, 2021, 2022. The books are already closed. Those are in COA already. 'Di ba? Verifiable yun sa DPWH website. What exactly is your problem about it? Why do you make issue out of that, Saldico? So parang doon ako naiinsulto. After that, they canceled the Mindanao Railway project. Na I can understand na yung reason na kasi they tumabang talaga ang China diyan 'Di ba? Tumabang talaga ang China diyan kasi it was supposed to be funded by China. Tumabang talaga yan, and then they said that maghanap na lang tayo ng iba, ganyan, ibang magpopondo dyan. And for 2024, you wanted to fund a 500 billion ayuda. How much is the railway project? How much the Mindanao Railway project cost? 83 billion. You cannot look for fucking money para bigyan ng tren ng Mindanao, pero meron kang 500 million pang-ayuda. That is an insult. So, kaya nga sabi ko, itong One Mindanao na to, it is coming from practical reasons. It is coming from, if you want to kill this sentiment by the Mindanaoans, answer their practical needs. And if you're not going to do that, I'm not going to oppose it, really. You have been neglecting them for a very, very long time. Act up.
I think kaya to binuhay ni Tatay Digong is just to show, the congressmen na yung sinusulong nila very divisive. Kasi, ngayong sinasabi niyang, sige, gusto niyo magkanya-kanya tayo o yung Mindanao hihiwalay sa inyo, kaya niyo ba? Syempre ngayon, nare-realize nila na number one, ito yung mga major realization yan from what I know. Number one, na influential pa rin si President Duterte. That's number one, no? Doon sila nagulat Number two, nung sinabi niya na magkanya-kanya na at ihiwalay ang Mindanao, doon din sila nagulat ulit na kapag pinush nila yung gusto nilang mangyari at nakuha ni Tatay Digong ang suporta ng buong Mindanao, makakawawa din talaga sila. So, he's forever, my idol when it comes to tactics and
yes.
and 'di ba? Very,
and the art of timing,
Yeah, art of timing and art of, how to talk to the public.
Mm-hmm.
Ako naman, pagpasensyahan nyo na, number one, ayoko humiwalay ang Mindanao sa Pilipinas kasi pag nangyari yon baka titira na lang ako sa Mindanao.
Me too.
Pero mo meron property ka sa Mindanao?
Meron akong property sa Davao. Meron. Buti naman. Ayun. So, ako, wag naman. Kaya nga pag the team of Senator Amy will be there on Friday sa Davao. So, sabi ko nga kay Senator, hindi kasi ako makasama, may shooting ako. Sabi ko, just check on Tatay Digong. Ako naman number one ako sa kanya, health Because yan sabi ko, kung gusto niya hiwalay ang Mindanao, dapat masupervise niya pa yan kung anong mangyayari. I know pagod na yung mga kapatid natin sa Mindanao. Lalo na when it comes to not only budget but attention as well. Lalo na pagdating sa lahat, hindi lang sa budget, Joey, even in tourism, even in infrastructures, medyo dehado talaga, no? Pero kahit pa paano naman nung time ni tatay, nabigyan ng pansin. No? Hindi ko lang alam tong ngayon sa kila BBM. So, another thing to learn. Hindi ko alam yan na mas malaki pa yung budget ng Bicol kaysa sa buong Mindanao. How many regions are there in Mindanao? Around 8, 9, 10, 9. Mga 5?
Region 11 and Region 5 yung kinumpare namin eh. And
okay.
meron talagang malaki talaga yung difference.
Nagtanong na ba kayo sa mga taga Bicol kung naramdaman nila yung budget na yon? Hindi pa ako nakakabalik sa Bicol simula ng election, baka katayin ako dun eh.
Remember yung big build ni PRRD, yung high valued infrastructure projects were actually Bicol region was actually Bicol region benefited from the build project. They got an airport, they got a port, and ang tawag dito, ano pa ba yung mga high value?
That's why they cannot junk Inday eh. I know sa Bicol, Lenny Sara yan eh. So, I know they cannot junk Inday because sa ano ni PRRD nagkaroon ng airport doon eh. Imagine. 'Di ba?
Ayun lang. Sabi ni Amir, drama lang yang si Aimee to save Bongbong, sabi niya.
Well, she's really trying to save her brother and there's nothing wrong with that. For me, pero at the rate things are going, it's not only to save Bongbong but to save the Constitution and to save the country. You cannot blame the ate if she's trying to save her kapatid. Pero let me ask you, kanino niya nililigtas? Kanino niya sinasagip ang kapatid niya? Yun ang pag-isipan natin, 'di ba?
Ako yung pakiramdam ko kay Senator Aimee would always be measured doon sa ginagawa niya. So, kung kunwari ngayon, si Senator Aimee is very, very, very critical dun sa People's Initiative. And that is important for me. Kasi ayoko talaga yung Tambi Initiative na yan. And siya yung senador ngayon na G, na ipatigil to at talagang gusto niyang ipakita sa lahat na ito ay sham at ito ay led by yung kapatid niya at saka ni Tambi.
Yeah. It's Pinsan Initiative.
Pinsan Initiative ito, 'di ba? And for me, yun yung ano ko eh, as a normal citizen, yun yung value sa akin ni Senator Aimee eh. Yung relationship nila sa kapatid niya kasi wala tayong magagawa doon, kapatid yun eh. You're gonna do the same sa kapatid.
Pero hindi talaga sila nag-uusap. Ever since before kampanya pa, hindi talaga sila okay. Katabi ako ni Senator Aimee almost 24/7. Halos di na kami natutulog niyan, nagsushoot kami and all. Hindi talaga sila nag-uusap. Ang mga usap nila in public, yung mga nakikita niyong pictures na magkasama sila, yun na yun. Pero hindi sila nag-uusap ng matagal. Hindi ako natatakot at nahihiyang sabihin yun. They're not okay. Because Senator Aimee and the First Lady, they are really not okay.
Di ba inaway ka na ng mga loyalist kasi nung sinabi mo magkaaway si Lisa at saka si...
Yeah, di ba? Sabi nila,
gumagawa ka intriga.
Ba't ko daw sinasabi yun? Buti na lang sinabi ko yun noon para na-clear na walang kinalaman si Senator sa mga kachipan ngayon, di ba? So, ayun.
Naalala ko talagang galit na galit nung nun eh. This was kumbaya time pa.
Yeah,
diba? Nung pa to, yung kumbaga bati-bati pa lahat nito, nung minention mo nun
Sinabi ko lang naman na gano'n na nangyayari. Ngayon naman, nagagalit sila sa akin dahil gumawa daw ako ng video na sinisira ko daw yung Filipiniana outfit. Yeah.
Nung nasa swimming pool na siya, di ko na kinaya.
Ay, hindi ko ba nasend sa'yo yun? Nasend ko lang yung konti dati.
Nasend mo yung nasend mo siya ng buo, pero hindi kumpleto, pero nandun rin yung swimming pool. Pero kasi syempre mas maganda yung buong buo.
Ay,
Nakakaaliw.
well, pag hindi pa nila ako tinigilan, magkaka-part 2 yan. Kaya tantanan nyo na ako sa mga paggamit sa akin dito sa mga live ni Joey, nire-repost nyo, hina-hashtag nyo pa ako para meron kayong ipapakain sa pamilya nyo. Tigilan nyo na ako, magkaka-part 2 yan. Ha? Tigilan nyo na ako.
Ayun. Nakakaloka. Sino yung tawag dito yung gustong umakyat na kineme? Ayan. Yung link nasa comment section. Ayun. Andito si Arya. Ayan. Hello, Arya. Sige, habang hinahanap ni Arya yung mic niya. Alexi, meron ka pang gustong idagdag sa sa mga concerns mo?
Well, actually, oo. I had something to say.
Yeah, go.
Ayokong sumabati.
Sige, go lang.
Kahit yun sa One Mindanao topic, I think in the long run, in the grand scheme of things, we look 20 years, 50 years, even 100 years into the future. If that happens, I think it would actually be good for the entire region of our part of the world. Kasi they have all the resources, they have everything to gain and nothing to lose actually by doing that. So let's say it happens. In 20 years, they're at the cusp of first world economy status, possibly if walang destabilization from within, right? So how would Luzon and Visayas react to that? That they must be doing something right and we should try and follow, diba? And they might do something similar on their own. I think it would be good for the entirety, because it's evolution in the social consciousness of all the people in our region. It would be a manifestation of that evolution, I think.
Actually, tama ka, Alexi, kasi yung trend talaga, with what is going on now here in the Philippines, at yung trend talaga, yung trend talaga ng Mindanao is really going to is leaning towards independence. Kasi yun nga if yung opportunity na nagkaroon na tayo ng Philippines, 'di ba? If the central government had been encouraging enough dun sa development and progress fairly for the entire archipelago, probably the sentiment may not be verbalized, ganyan, may not come out. Pero dahil nga dun sa unfair na treatment, may discrimination pa, ganyan, at hindi naman nawawala yon at hindi naman siya na-address, it's not very impossible to really think that Mindanao is going there.
Oh, I think it's only just a matter of time.
It's a matter of time.
I mean, if we look at the African countries right now who have been, far worse conditions, even they are rising up against their colonial masters. So they are reaching for their own self-determination.
I was about to say that because the stage is being set up for self-determination, diba? The self-determination, ang ingredients niyan kasi kapag meron talaga mga practical needs, diba? Yeah, so and it's the ingredients are all coming together for them to self-determine. And that's the ultimate realization of your that's a very crucial factor for independence. Ayun.
Also, I'd like to point out their geography is very, very strategic, unlike Luzon and Visayas. No, you know how close they are to Indonesia. That just means that they can very easily join the China +1 strategy, Belt and Road. Isang talon na lang yun Konektado na sila dun. So their economic development talaga would be very fast. That's what I think. Sorry.
with proper resources and proper policy. Well, the resources, they already have it. Pero yung if with the right policy, with the right bureaucratic tool, it's inevitable for them to progress, di ba?
Yeah, so they actually, if they go with this, they have the opportunity to clear out all the mistakes in law that we currently have in Philippine law, di ba? They have the opportunity to write their own constitution. They can instantly remove the MOE issue right off the bat. They can have all the anti-turncoatism law, whatever. They have that opportunity, that unique opportunity, if they go with this. And I'm all for it personally. And I would, as a second generation OFW with nearly no connection to our identity as a Filipino, masasabi ko lang, I would love to join them because close to roots na yan eh.
Ayun. Anyway, ayan. At sige, pagbigyan natin si pagbigyan natin si... Teka, Alexi, meron ka bang gustong idagdag?
Well, I just want to say thank you to everyone in the comment section, and nagsasabi na welcome tayo dun if ever mangyari. It makes me happy to see that if it so happens, we can join them away from all of this turmoil that happens here, away from the American agenda.
You don't have you don't have Mindanao roots.
I don't think so. Kasi second generation OFW nga, we're so far removed eh. We don't know anymore. Actually, it's funny that most people don't seem to recognize the second and third and fourth generation OFWs na galing Pilipinas, pero we're so far removed from our roots that we might as well be stateless now because we don't have that identity built in us. Maramihan dito sa mga generation na to nandidiri sa Pilipinas, sa totoo lang. So, it's for me, because like I went back to the Philippines to find where I could belong, where the people I could be with, and what I found here was, wow, fuck this. This is not the place or not the kind of mindset that I would want my children to grow up in. So it's really heartwarming to see that if it ever happens, welcome tayo dun. So, that's all. Thank you for...
Yeah, retire in Mindanao if ever.
Uy, bata pa ako doon. I'm only 30. Retire na agad.
At least, di ba? Kapag dumating yung panahon na yon, why not? Oo. Ayun.